Hey guys, it's Chris with Bank, Bassin, and CC Fishing. I'm going to talk to you today about some of the rods and reels that I use. I'm going to show you 4 of my main reels and rods combos that I pretty much keep with me at all times. For the most part, they're going to deviate a little bit, but I'm just going to cover some of the basics just to give you an idea of how I'm fishing and what I'm fishing with. So first off, I have a dedicated worm rod. So you can see this is a Berkley, and it's an amp. I actually bought it from Dick's Sporting Good. This is extremely sensitive. I love that fact. Plus, I can throw 1/4 ounce all day long. I can put a 1/4 ounce weight, even an 1/8 ounce weight if I'm throwing something like a Cinco on it, like you see here. I can throw this all day long and get it out, 20-30 yards to where I need to be. I have it paired with a Pflueger. It's got 12-pound mono on it, and this is a 641 reel, so it's not real fast, but it's just fast enough. It's an 8 bearing. It's real nice reel. I love it. I haven't had any problems out of this setup, minus line problems, which we all have fishing mono. This is my Dialessa setup. It is probably the most versatile setup that I actually have. The Dialessa rod is a Laguna 661 MFB. You can see right there. And you can see how versatile it is. I've got a George on it with a crappie jig. I took this out to Lake Lavon in my kayak and was sand bass fishing with it. It was a blast. That's a 1/2 ounce weight though, so I could chunk this thing a bloody mile if I needed to. I have it paired, I don't know why they did this. I have it paired with a Laguna, Laguna 100 HS. Now, this is probably my youngest rod and reel combo, but I have absolutely fallen in love with this. I can chunk anything that I want. It's got just enough flexibility, and it's still pretty sensitive. I've thrown a worm on it a few times just to see how sensitive it is, and it actually holds up very well, and it's durable. I absolutely just love the versatility that this gives me. I can throw top water with it, I can throw worm with it, crankbait, spinner baits, everything this is pretty much my go-to rod when I don't know exactly what the day is going to bring me, but I'm going to be catching or pitching quite a few things to figure out what they want. This is my go-to. I don't leave home without this one. Then there's my secondary. This is actually a mossy oak camo stick. You can see it's got the nice camo color to it. This is actually got a little bit more backbone than the other one. And if you watched my previous video, I'm not lying. It's tied on. You can see the model right there. This is actually a little bit of a heavier duty rod. It's not as thick as the Dialessa or that Berkley Power Amp, and it's got a little bit more backbone. It's still got a nice tip to it, so I can whip stuff out there like this weightless, and it works really well. I haven't had any problems out of this rod, and I like how even on the Dialessa they're guideless. It doesn't have the little real ring in there, so it's all one piece. Maybe I'm mistaken. No, it doesn't look like it. If it's a ring in there, it's in there so well, I haven't had any of these fall out. So that's the beauty of these things. I really do like them. I have it paired with a H2O MeddLe. It's a 10 ball bearing. A lot of people bash on these guys because they're like, oh, that's a cheap reel. You know what? For 30 bucks, you can't beat this. You really can't. When they go on sale like once a year, I mean, I bought one on a whim thinking that it was just going to be some junker that I was going to use for one season and then get rid of it. I've used this thing constantly. I like this reel. As long as you keep up a little bit of maintenance on it, you can beat the tar out of them and they still work. I mean, look at the side of that thing. You can't even read MeddLe anymore. That's what that's supposed to say, M-E-D-D-L-E, and it's not there. The only drawback is the gear ratio. It's a 6:3:1, so it's a little bit slower, but it's such a smooth reel. I really enjoy it. Last one is my big Broomstick. Now I have more than this, but this is just the 4 that I usually carry with me. I have a H2O MeddLe. This one's not as beat up as the other one because it doesn't get used as frequently. But you can see how thick this is, and you can see I've got like a 3.5 inch Swimbait on here. This thing weighs ½ an ounce easy. You can see how thick it really is. I mean, it's just almost as thick as my finger, if not thicker. I mean, it's a thick rod. You're not gonna bend this easy. I use this a lot of times for when I'm punching jigs or throwing heavier type baits that I need that extra backbone for, because if a 5 or 6 pounder picks up on it, I want to be able to pull them through whatever I'm gonna do. And again, it's got the same eyes as the camo stick back there, but you can see I don't get as much use out of this one. This is a Cabela's Tourney Trail IM7. I actually got it on sale from Cabela's, I think for $30 not too long ago, something like that. So you can see there's the model, IM7. So it's pretty good. I'm fairly happy with it. I have a few other rods that I've had that are this stiff before, and I like this one just a little bit better. It seems to have a little bit more flex to it than the Broomsticks that I have in the garage. So I'll continue to use this one for right now. The one thing that I didn't show you on my power amp, my Berkley amp rod, there is no eyelets. I mean, it's not a micro guide, but you can see it's just got this real fine like polish to it. It's super smooth. I mean, you can see the line just moves back and forth real easy. This is what I think makes this rod more sensitive, along with the materials that it's used. Now, it's not a micro guide. I know micro guides have the best sensitivity out there. This is probably the next best thing. This, unfortunately, is not that cheap though. This rod was probably $60 or $70 by itself. Now, when you're on a budget, that's not exactly the best thing. The dial is pretty much the same as every other rod. It has little eyelets on the inside. Well, that's it for this session. So if you have any questions for me, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you out there fishing. If you ever see me, hey, always welcome to say hi.